Yo, what's good? What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great day. It's Neff, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Shadowlands Season 3 Mythic Plus Affix. They recently made some changes to it, I think yesterday, and so far they look pretty good. They look, pretty interesting. There's some cool, unique things that go along with them instead of just flat buffs, and we're going to take a look at them. One of the buffs that you get now is actually either really super bugged or is really overpowered. I'm not sure the actual intention of the design of the buff, but I'm going to be showing you guys a clip of what I mean, and you can judge for yourself and tell me if it's bugged or not. So if you don't know how the Affix works, I made a video about this, I think it was my last video. There's 3 relics that spawn throughout the dungeon. They're with certain packs, and they spawn with every boss. All 3 relics, they provide a certain buff. Depending on which relic you kill first will decide what buff you actually get after you kill all 3 of them. So to actually get the buff, you kill all 3, and then an ad will spawn depending on which relic you killed first. So you kill that ad, then you get the actual buff. So before these changes yesterday, the Urh relic would give you a movement speed buff, Woe would give you a haste buff, and Vi would give you a 25% increased cooldown rate for 45 seconds. Those have been changed up a little bit, and I did update my plater script to change the name for each buff that you get. So if you want that plater script, I'll leave a link to it in the description. So they did change which relics give which buffs depending on how hard it is to kill each ad that spawns from these relics. So I think that's a pretty good change. It should be, you get the best from the worst kind of thing. So with the new changes, the relics that provide all the buffs, Vi gives haste, Urh gives cooldown reduction, and Woe gives damage reduction. So that one was actually completely changed. They removed the movement speed, but they kept the stealth effect, and they added a 15% damage reduction instead of the movement speed buff, which I think is pretty good. The movement speed was kind of useless, even though it was pretty cool. You literally just, you could go from one side of the dungeon to the other in like 10 seconds. It's pretty insane. So we'll look at these changes, a little bit in depth here. So Vi, like I said, gives haste now. The haste was reduced from 20% to 15%, and they added an additional effect that deals cosmic damage to the targeted enemy or healing to caster's friendly target when triggered. So I didn't personally test this one out myself, but I was watching a stream of someone testing it out, and I think they were doing it on a 10 key, so it might scale with key level, but they were just testing it out on a 10, and it was literally doing like 1% of its damage, in a 40-second pull, which honestly is kind of shit. Healing was also doing like 1%, so it might be better on like a 28 key. It might do a little bit more, but for those lower keys, at least right now, it looks really bad. You do get a 15% haste buff, which is always really nice, and playing with more haste just makes the game even more fun. I think this change was kind of bad. It's kind of cool, but it's kind of a bad change. The cosmic damage that you get for losing the 5% haste, just in my opinion, just isn't worth it. So hopefully we'll see some change to that. So we'll look at Urh. Urh is now the cooldown reduction buff, and it was increased to 200%. It was 25%, and now it restores 10% HP and mana every 1 second. Duration reduced to 10 seconds was 45. So now instead of just getting cooldown reduction, we're getting a full heal over 10 seconds and a full mana regen over 10 seconds, which is really nice for healers. What I was talking about earlier, one of the affixes or one of the buffs being bugged, potentially. I'll show you a clip here. You can you can see my hunt. I made sure to use it before we killed it. You can see my hunt cooldown go from 44 seconds to instantly dipping 40 seconds and going to a 4-second cooldown. And I think my meta also dropped like 40 seconds. It went like from 50 to 14 or something. But you can see here on the clip, it's pretty crazy right now. So I don't know if it's intended. It doesn't seem like that would be, a good intended buff. I mean, it is good. It's really good actually, but it seems a little overpowered, because really within this 10-second duration, Covenant cooldown or whatever is like a minute and a half long. You can throw out 2 or 3 of these within that 10-second cooldown reduction window. So let me know what you think about that in the comments. I'm interested to see what you guys think about this. So now we'll look at Woe. Woe was the haste buff originally, and now they changed it to 15% damage reduction, and the duration of the effect, you auto stealth anytime you're not in combat. Duration reduced to 20 seconds, was 45 seconds. Not much to say about this ability. I think it's going to be kind of useless. 15% damage reduction for 20 seconds doesn't really help push the key whatsoever. I mean, in certain situations, possibly if the tank has nothing up, maybe DPS has cooldowns up, it could potentially help. It could maybe help, you know, on Tyrannical, if you're doing like a big pull with the boss, you know, it could help. Yeah, I just don't see a lot of use for this. The change that they made to the stealth effect is definitely a big plus, because originally it was, you know, it was pretty useless. To get the stealth effect originally, you had to keep the buff ad alive until the entire pack was dead, which was, you know, well, what's the point of it? The auto stealth for 20 seconds when you go out of combat, it's definitely a really nice change. But like I said, I don't really see a use for this buff at all, especially with the cooldown reduction being as busted as it is right now. And plus you get a full heal and full mana regen. You know, it's just, it'd be crazy not to take the cooldown reduction. In certain scenarios, maybe the haste could be better than the cooldown reduction, but as long as it stands as it is now, the cooldown reduction will definitely be the go-to buff to kill. And like I said, I updated my plater script to change which buffs you get on the nameplate, so it's updated accordingly. So if you want to get that, it's only available for plater. So on Wago, there's a link in the description. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you found something useful, liked it, you know, drop a like, comment, and sub. And until next time, see ya.